With me here is Ángel Manotas, Managing Director at Alantra Private Equity. Ángel, welcome to HBI 2025.
Nice to meet you.
How's it been? How's your experience been so far?
Very good, very interesting. The panel, I think it was good, and good networking opportunity to meet people from different industries, and very interesting so far.
Many thanks for being here with us. My first question to you would be, so dental laboratories. So Alantra recently acquired multiple dental laboratories in Spain. So dental laboratories are expanding at twice the rate of the overall dental industry. So why do you think so? What is driving the growth?
It's pretty simple. First of all, you need to understand that the oral healthcare market is growing at 2-3%, okay, which is a very good growth rate, and because the industry enjoys from very favorable tailwinds, okay, elder population, there is more, people are more worried about dental treatments. As we discussed before, dental healthcare industry is becoming pure healthcare, so favorable tailwinds, and when you go to the dental lab area in particular, basically you need to know that the business or the sector is going through a business transformation. Originally, the dental lab sector was dominated by traditional labs that mostly everything was handcrafted.
Yeah.
Basically, you go to the practitioner, you get the mold in your mouth, then it was delivered or shipped to the dental lab, and then everything, all the process was handcrafted. Thanks to digitalization, the business model has changed dramatically. Nowadays, you go to the practitioner, they scan your mouth, and then the dental lab receives an image, and from then you have a digital design, and the product or the process is produced with 3D printers.
Yeah.
And thanks to this, basically you have two main benefits, both for the clinics and for the patient. For the patient, you reduce the number of times it needs to visit the practitioner, because you avoid trial and error. Every time you produce a prosthesis, it fits perfectly well within the patient mouth, and from the clinics, well, you release or you give them more capacity to increase the number of treatment of the patients.
Okay.
So there are several benefits for both the clinics and the patients. On top of that, you need to bear in mind that in the Spanish market, the dental lab industry is highly fragmented. There are around 1,400 dental labs. Most of them are traditional ones, and they are owned by people close to retirement, and they are not ready to transition their businesses from traditional or analog to digital. Why is that? The key reasons are two. The first one is, well, they need to invest in the equipment.
Yeah.
It's not a significant investment, but it can range between 400,000, 500,000. But what is more difficult, you need to train the workforce. So in total, so basically, given those two factors, so the number of competitors is decreasing, and then you have a higher penetration of digital dental clinics. So it gives you the reason why dental labs usually grow between 2 and 3 times faster than traditional ones.
That's very interesting. Thank you. So what would you say is the estimated market size of the dental laboratories in Spain?
Well, based on the commercial DD that we performed, the dental market just for the lab sector, it was around 800 million euros, which is quite large. And as I said before, it's growing double digit. It's mostly dominated. So if you divide it into brackets, it's mostly prostheses, both fixed and removable, and that's the reason why it's a sizable one.
Who are the leading providers?
Well, we have Chorus, that is a group that has been in the market for longer than us. The second largest player is the group that we have created, because nowadays we are close to 20 dental labs. Our total group revenues by the end of this year will be above 30 million euros. It's highly profitable, so we are the second largest player in Spain. And beyond that, well, you have smaller platforms.
Would you say the market is consolidated?
No, not really. Because something that has happened with the digitalization is that you have also increased the value out of the products. Okay, so products that you are producing of thanks to new materials, innovation are of higher quality than the traditional ones.
Right. Talking about healthcare opportunities, what excites you most right now?
Well, I think that the healthcare industry is going through a significant reshape because what we discussed, technology, artificial intelligence and everything. If I had to choose, I would say that medical devices is an attractive one. Diagnosis services, we also own a majority stake in a genetic company that is fast growing. So I would say that everything that is related with improve the accuracy of the diagnosis, that it makes precision medicine, accuracy, better treatments for the patient. Those are the areas in which the healthcare industry is expected to grow faster.
Right, but as a private equity investor, what do you think are underserved in healthcare services?
This is a difficult question. I think that basically every time there is a new technique or there is something new in the market, as a private equity, what we at least try to do is try to consolidate this market because you need to gain relevance within the industry. Because by becoming a larger player, then you have more resources to invest in R&D and to keep up the pace with technological development. So it's not a particular space in which it's underserved, but there are many areas in which, for example, in the genetic market, as we discussed before, the company that we are invested in didn't exist before. It was made of, they were in different small players with limited resources to invest, and by merging them and created a leading platform, then we are investing in R&D, and so it's size in this industry matters, and you need to help them to grow and in order to advance and to keep progressing.
Very interesting. Thank you very much, Ángel, for making the time and being here.
No worries.
Thank you.
Thank you.